god, why did I go down this route? Why was I right about the sex cult thing? Why couldn't I be wrong? I was actually right for once. And I regret it. That was wild. When the deed is done. Oh my god. Don't give me an achievement for that! Innsmouth Harbor is signposted much better than the local hospital. You wonder if a hospital is even needed here. Round here, probably not. It's a half-hour walk. A mile-long carpet of cobblestone is now ahead of you. The traffic in Boston is more hectic, but at least you have a herd of asphalt before you. As you keep walking, there are fewer and fewer residential buildings along your path. In their stead, there are now warehouses that must be fish markets due to the smell. You can also hear the occasional metallic clank from nearby workshops. People in gray raincoats are walking towards you. They're probably fishermen who have some errands to run, or cultists who are looking to take your spleen out, sacrifice it to a god, and then make you eat your own dick. It's happened before, or something like that. Something along those lines, something like that. A few jokes made, don't really know. Now and again, in that split second when you pass one another, you catch a glimpse of the faces hidden underneath the hoods. Puffy eyes that look at you suspiciously. Although there are a few clouds in the sky, there's no chance of rain as far as you can tell. Why are they all wrapped up like that? You wonder if they have a sixth sense for approaching storms. The sound of the rhythmic blows of a hammer nearby tears you away from these thoughts. It would be interesting to watch the work in a shipyard, but little Telebeth is... I completely forgot how the hell to pronounce the girl's name, is unlikely to be here to play. Oh yeah, if you don't know, despite all the strange oddities of shenanigans that we've gotten up to over the past several episodes, we are supposed to be looking for a girl. Should I note that we've yet to find her? I have no clue where she is, I have no clue how to find her, and I don't even know if we can find her. She's probably dead, based off how many times I've died. She's probably dead. From a distance, you can already see the mass of boats which rise up into the sky like a row of spears. You walk along a small street at the quay with the harbor basin just behind it. Breathe in the sea breeze. Look around. The view of the harbor is splendid. Boats of all shapes and sizes are coming and going, nets are being emptied out, and fish seem to be endlessly splashing into huge freezer boxes. Local trades are being sealed with handshake, and at the end of a wide hand-led, a huge lighthouse watches majestically over the bay. The ideal postcard motif if it weren't for the people. You only know fishermen from the movies, and you have to admit you have a certain prejudice. These include, they have... Oh god, where is this going? They have weather-beaten skin, and the captains always have well-groomed beards. They are the strong, silent types or hard-drinking lads who sing filthy sea shanties. But these creatures in front of you are neither majestic nor leery. They move around more like tragic hunchbacks you'd expect to see in French cathedrals. Speaking of cathedrals, a few yards to the right there's a fork in the road and a sign pointing for the north. Its inscription reads, Innsmouth Paradise... Yeah, Paradise Beach. I thought I misread that. In the far distance you can see a building that looks like a church. Hang on, a church? On the coast. How erratic. Oh, shit. I thought I just had the church to go to. I forgot about the beach. I guess we're gonna be starting another episode off here. To the beach! I get so easily distracted. there's usually fewer clothes at the beach. The views are usually much finer, you know? The beach, the screeching seagulls and endless white waves, well, brown, okay, fine, gray beach, and the sound of the waves. Clean, potentially clean water. The algae are way too dense to really tell. You walk on the sands and move a little closer to the waterline, curious about what you might discover there. Although the sea is not stormy and the tide is low, Innsmouth Beach is not really a touristy place. Everything is simply too gray. I have noticed that. This is what you associate with a real vacation. See cocktails, television. Really? We don't get skimpy bikinis and or skimpy speedos, you know? I don't judge around here. That's not on the list. How the hell is this gonna go? Nothing can go wrong when you get drunk in a town full of sea creatures that want to kill ya. Once again, some sentences I just never would have gotten to say if it wasn't for this channel. Cocktails. The more paper umbrella, bits of fruits and straws, the better. You rub your hands, you can hardly wait to blissfully collapse into a hammock with a drink in your hand. You were born for that, clearly, considering the freaking alcohol in your office. Lost in thought, you keep wandering over the dunes. You notice how all the colors of the sea and the beach seem to be swallowed up by the strange light conditions here. You hold your hand up in front of your face, your skin looks gray and matted. But still, you feel relaxed. The murmur of the sea invigorates you. You feel a deep sense of longing within you, a serene sense of inner peace and freedom, until the techno music starts. Oh boy, that's a sentence and a half. Let me repeat that for you, just in case you thought I and or you had an aneurysm in the middle of that. You feel a deep sense of longing within you, a serene sense of inner peace and freedom, until the techno music starts. It feels like that old saying, everything was peaceful until the Fire Nation attacked. Everything was peaceful until the techno music started. Oh, the monotone beats, the sound seems to come directly from the beach bar a few hundred yards off in the distance, which appears to be surrounded by about a dozen people. Given the changing weather, it's perhaps no surprise. What else is one supposed to do on this beach apart from drink cheap cocktails and dance to bad music? Something strange grabs your attention. A kind of cage standing in the shallow water, perhaps 12 feet wide and deep. Ooh. I know I was talking about, booze and babes, but that cage, that interests me a bit more. Thanks. I have a tendency to throw this guy to whatever dangerous situation seems to present itself. The lighthouse looks like it's about to collapse under us if we continue up the stairs. Nah, walk up there, you bastard. The strange glowing cube is definitely trying to suck the soul out of us. Oh, just touch it. What could go wrong? I just throw this guy to the wolves, don't I? I have no respect for him or his life, and I love it. Oh, video games, what would I do without you? Probably be normal. Thanks to the low tide, you are able to get closer to the strange object. The sea has retreated into the distance, so the cage stands there, looking strangely lost. As you approach, you take off your shoes and socks and turn your torso legs up a little. Trouser legs. Finally, you stand in front of the cage. There is a visible line on the cage about 3 feet from the ground. The metal on the top half still looks quite stable. The bottom half must normally be submerged in water. Slimy black algae winds around the metal rods. Huh. Cage, oh cage, what do you hold from me? What's strange to you? This is an awful lot of questions you're giving me for once. Is the position of the cage the size of the cage? The position of the cage. The dunes are not that far away. On your way, very strange. The dunes are not that far away. On your way, you notice that this is the part of the beach that usually remains untouched by the water, so even the high tide doesn't get to it. You must have only walked 50 yards. Even if the tide comes in, you'd think that the cage would never actually be completely submerged in water. But isn't that the point of these things? You start thinking about lobster cages, then about shark cages. That's all you find here. You linger for a bit, then walk back to the sandy part of the beach. Okay. That was weird. Normally there isn't crap like that unless there's actually a reason for it. Okay, keep an eye out for something. Normally a cage like that isn't empty. The cries of seagulls are increasingly drowned out by the early 90s techno beats. Isn't it like the 80s? What do you mean 90s? Oh, who am I kidding? You time traveled at this point. What does it matter? One note, that's all some people need to enjoy themselves. And all one Yunt's cast member needs to do, CPR. Oh, that's a strange little reference I made there. One note in an endless loop. The owner of the beach bar has taken great pains to make up for some of Innsmouth's defects. The bar is made from wooden planks and features a nice countertop and an exotic canopy made from palm trees. And nice countertop and an exotic canopy made from palm trees. I need to correct myself, otherwise I'll never hear the end of it. Admittedly, the palm trees are no longer green, they're gray and dried out, just as if a demon had sucked the life force out of them. But it's easy to imagine that all this must have looked pretty once. Quite pretty once. The bar is flanked by wooden bar stools, and a few meters away towards the ocean, 2 rows of deck chairs have been put up so that people can get drunk while lying down. From a distance, the bar looks busy, but now, as you arrive, you realize that the party is already over, if it ever did take place. A dozen people hang out here, a few surfer dudes stagger about like zombies. Some of them carry empty cocktail glasses around, some of them yell, "Party!" and woo-hoo enthusiastically. Precisely this kind of people? Precisely? I don't understand what that's supposed to mean. A guy with long hair and sunglasses nods his head in time with the techno beats and taps along on the bar counter with his flat hand. There's no bar staff in sight. Oh, damn, where are you supposed to get a drink from then? One of the tourist families you had spotted on the way here is spread out on the deck chairs. They're evidently trying to keep away from the party. I don't blame them. Hey, that's a new sight. Look around, sit at the bar, take up one of the deck chairs. Oh, I'm in over my head, as you might say, while we're at the beach. I know nothing, so I have no clue which direction to go down, clearly. Take up one of the deck chairs. It can't hurt to just rest for a moment. It means you'll be able to resume your mission full of energy, or whatever. Most of the chairs are free, all offer excellent views of the sea and the incredibly cloudy horizon. You're spoiled for choice. We're currently at a bar trying to get drunk, laying in a deck chair staring out at the empty, godless sea. Meanwhile, we're supposed to be looking for a missing child. We are terrible at our jobs. I haven't even realized that. I've been having too much fun to realize the fact that, like, we're supposed to be looking for a kid right now. Instead, we're doing this. Of course, you're going over to where the other tourists are. Oh. I'm not sure I want to go near the tourists. The last time I went near a group of tourists, I ended up getting sacrificed. That is one hellishly extreme escalation of events. Sit next to tourists, get sacrificed. It wasn't by the tourists. It just happened that I had sat next to them and it ended in that manner of events. So I'd sit by the tourists. Yikes. Well, I know where you're from. Why not? Maybe you'll be able to learn their language if you spend some time around them. It's one of the families you've already noticed a few times today. Happily chatting parents who are constantly eating and their chronically bad-tempered children. The four are hard to miss with their loud chatter and tasteless tourist outfits. They zo down on the deck chairs, spinning on some soft drinks. You clear your throats, the international sign for hello there. I would like to say something. What are you going to ask them? Do you know what these cages are for? We are completely off track and yet I love it. Do you know what these cages are for? The strange frame alone in the water in the middle of nowhere. You have to keep thinking about it. Do you know what these cages are for? You ask the parents. Oh, those. The father's face lights up. We're just taking some photos of them. I think they're for children to climb on. They're not meant for children, his wife chirps in. That's how people here capture lobsters and whales and things like that. What the? How fucking small do you think a whale is, lady? You have a husband for a whale, so you should already know. Fuck, I just spit on myself saying that. I got so enthusiastic about that. Bullshit, the son mutters. He pokes the sand with a wooden branch, probably imagining he is stabbing someone. They're from the Middle Ages, and people want to were put in there to drown. Ah, kids, you may want to be careful about what you say. Don't go giving them ideas. What are you going to ask them? Strangely enough, so many of these things I've asked so far have hit dead ends. I'm looking for this girl. You say, and show them a photo of Tabitha. The parents bend forward and squint in order to see the little face better. Nope, sorry, the father says, and goes back to spinning his fruit juice. No, me neither, and the wife adds, nothing then. Wow. That was legit just straight up a dead end. Nothing. To hell with them. Were you kidding? You decide to lean in your antisocial side. You just get comfortable on the deck chair. An incoherent chatter of the family remains hearing a static noise in the background. What the fuck? 90% of the time we go down one of these routes, we find something, but jeez. Just nothing. Not too shabby. The dark clouds draw together on the horizon, worrying you a little bit. But they're far away enough for you to simply enjoy this moment on a beach. Technically, you have been near a beach the whole time, but you couldn't really switch off. There was a haunting sense of danger, a feeling of paranoia that you simply couldn't shake off. Luckily, this paranoia is gone now. I'm not sure that's a good thing. Like, we know there are people around here that are gonna want to kill us. We have died many times. So that sense of paranoia is plenty warranted and kind of concerning that it's now gone. A cozy breeze caresses your face as you tune out the other tourists' annoying conversations. You listen to the murmur of the waves, the regular to and fro the sea has an soothing effect on you. Your eyes fall shut. God damn it, you idiots. Oh, you have no clue what you just did. It's cold, you're freezing, which is annoying because you had settled down quite comfortably on one of the deck chairs. You could swear you noticed a shadow while half asleep. There was a figure who tried to grab you and carry you away. Was that all a dream? A chilly wind blows in your face. Oh, damn it. This case is going to be the death of you. It has been the death of you. You simply lie there as if dead. Your attempts to return to a more comfortable position are punished by stabbing pain in your behind. Some bit of the chair is digging into you. Are you sure it's the chair? Probably a cheap model. Damn tight ass, you mutter weakly, and you push yourself into an upright position. The sun has now set, and all other holidaymakers have gone. Instead of freezing their asses off, they're probably sitting in a warm hotel by now. That or getting sacrificed. Like I said, it happens a lot around here. The moon illuminates the beach and the waves shimmer in its eerie green glow. Green? Nature is fascinating. You stretch your tense neck when you notice some lights off in the distance. Night has fallen, and with each passing minute, it seems to get chillier. The lights appear to be moving and are led away from the town. You wonder whether you should take a closer look, the spectacle, or go to your warm hotel. Ooh, we have a choice. Follow the lights. We will study this case deeply, Watson. That's something Sherlock Holmes said. Probably. Maybe. Can you tell I'm talking out my ass? Why not? The day is almost over anyway, and maybe you can at least manage to figure out what the lights in the distance are all about. You trudge through the sand, then you notice the lights are heading towards are moving. They do not stand still but twitch back and forth. Hang on a moment. You're on a beach. It's night. Weird blinking lights. That rhymes. This is clearly a rave, a UFO sect. Oh god, again with... Wait! A rave we've not seen before, but a UFO sect I think we saw once before. And a sex cult? Again? Hell yes! These perverts have no respect for anything. The nudist zone must be further along the beach, and now they are getting started. Somebody ought to tell them off. Yeah, better give them a nice spanking while you're at it. Really tell them off. Somebody else, definitely anybody else. Nope, like us. You don't get a choice in this. Your time has come. You decide to approach them. In the name of public decency, of course, not for any other reason. For non-sex cult related reasons, you check the fit of your underwear before walking up to them. I love this game to death. This game literally has been my death several times. I'm just now realizing the next button for the pages is Monster Claw. This is gonna make for some interesting out of context shorts. You arrive somewhat distinctively. You stand on a sand dune and take in the spectacle. There are 20, maybe 30 people who have gathered here on the beach close to the waves. You can see that they are naked under the rags and nets that they are wearing on their bodies. Hold on, was I right? They are performing a sensual and seemingly uncontrolled dance while waving glowing sticks in the air. The masks that people are wearing seem familiar from film and television. Distorted faces with angry mouths and ugly googly eyes. Reminds you a little of voodoo, but here on the coast of New England? Hold on, wait. Since when were we in New England? What the hell are you talking about, New England? Okay. Well, that changes things a little bit. Whatever. I give it... Actually, yeah, most of Lovecraft's stories didn't happen in, like, the US, did they? Considering... Was the US even a thing back when Lovecraft was writing his stuff? Because that's when this is taking place, when Lovecraft would have been writing his stuff, which when his stories took place. No, it must have been. I think it was. Not that far back. Was I right, though? You're not quite sure anymore whether you are at a rave party or actually an exotic fertility ritual. The acoustics are bad instead of the clear techno beats. The people here rely on singing. They could do with rehearsing, though. Without any sense of rhythm, the people are chanting the same refrain over and over again. I have a feeling I know what that's gonna be. Yep. Oh fuck, it's been forever since I did this. Cthulhu Footing. It's been forever. Sure. We've been sacrificed once before. The whole point of holidays is doing crazy things you normally wouldn't. And besides, nobody here knows you. That's the point. You sneak up to the group of dancers and attempt to seemingly blend into the chaotic spectacle. You're lucky in the midst of the rags that most people are wearing here, your detective outfit doesn't particularly stand out. You're just another freak among many. You get swept up in the ecstasy of the dance. Your thighs tremble, your arms wriggle about. You throw back your head and join the loud chanting. Yeah, yes, silly frog. That's, that, that got me a bit. Yeah, yes, silly frogs, you enthusiastically intimate, imitate the chant. You didn't even get close. A few glow sticks have been dropped during the dance and lie abandoned in the sand. When you bend down to pick one of them, you realize they are not disposable glow sticks at all. They're algae? Glowing algae. You keep dancing cheerfully. Past the bizarrium mass with sullen eyes, which up close look much more threatening. Bit scary. From a distance, this horror part of the show would have completely escaped you. The party seems to be shifting on to the next phase. The dancers have now stopped their ecstasy movements and stand still with their outstretched arms facing the ocean. Silence, complete silence, apart from the monotone murmur of the waves. Then you can make out another sound, a strange hissing. Another group of amateur actors join the dancers. Oh, what the hell? Okay. You know, most of the monsters we've seen so far have been kind of decrepit and not that intimidating. That's fucking scary. Who invited Hulk's cousin? Actually, these things are straight out of Lovecraft's book. Straight out of it. They come straight out of the water and wear costumes more suitable for Halloween than a rave party. Green scales cover their costumes, or is it professional makeup? The scaly skin costume looks super real. The muscular, clumsy, and much too long arms end in a sect of lifelike claws. The hands are a mixture of dumb-looking fish and a deadly grizzly. Whoever came up with the mask seriously needs to see a therapist. Fair, I agree there. When the first masked creature reaches the group of dancers, you realize that these guys must have seriously trained for this gig. All of them have bodies you can only get through years of hard physical training and guzzling down loads of steroids. They are also stark naked. You tilt your head involuntarily. Some things on the bodies are quite difficult to replicate even with paper mache or plastic mold. You know this from your own Halloween craft endeavors. That and or a dildo making class. Honestly, that probably is a thing. And I probably would take part in one just because I'd be curious. It is even more difficult to make these things move and react authentically. It takes a lot of willpower to tear your eyes away from this sight. The dance group seems to welcome the newcomers warmingly. They mingle. Each of the costume giants seem to know exactly with whom they want to spend the evening. It does not take long, and every party guest is paired up with one of the fish creatures, except for the one guy that wasn't supposed to be there. You stand a little off to the side and watch as they explore each other's body. They started to, whoa, okay, this is definitely X-rated. A brave choice for a tourist entertainment program. While you are still grasping for air indignantly, the couples are already rolling in the sand, groaning with pleasure. This is getting weird. Only one of the costume giants has not yet found a partner. His milky eyes fall on you. Uh-oh. He stalks over to you on his long legs. Oh no. Oh boy, here we go. With one of his claws, he points at you, then at himself. If we say no, we're probably gonna die. If we say yes, we're probably gonna die. You know what? When I do these episodes, I go balls deep into it. Ironically enough, in this situation, Ah, why the hell not? Get over here, you say as you open your arms. What follows is private and definitely not R-rated. You are fascinated, no, thrilled with the fish mutant costume. The things you like best are the universal sexual organs. The full lips and long tongue, the soft but deadly claw. This one. Oh my god. The bulging lips of the costume taste of salt and make you very thirsty. It could, of course, also be due to the fact that you are sweating and rolling around in the sand with this man. His long, thin tongue explores the inside of your mouth, touches the back of your throat. I'm painfully uncomfortable right now, and briefly causes you to gag, which almost ruins your sensual foreplay. God, why did I go down this route? Why was I right about the sex cult thing? Why couldn't I be wrong? I was actually right for once, and I regret it. That was wild. When the deed is done. Oh my god. Don't give me an achievement for that! I got an achievement for sleeping with the damn thing. I love this game. Oh, this is my kind of game. That was wild. When the deed is done, you lie on the cool sand in your partner's enveloping embrace. All around you, the other couples do the same. Together, you look up at the green hue of the starry sky. No words are needed. The man in the fish costume only makes hissing and bleeding sounds, but you have a deeper connection. This is rare. You feel at ease. Maybe for the first time in your life, time flies much too fast. The raid party is over. Most of the dancers from Innsmouth start walking back towards the harbor on shaggy legs. And so your partner is near too. You try to give him your phone number, but he plays dumb. He snarls and shuffles towards the ocean. Just when you think you have found someone with whom you can live out your animal instincts, that person decides to wordlessly disappear into the sea. Typical. You watch thoughtfully as his head disappears between the waves. You're not 100% sure if you use this day to the fullest. Considering the reason you actually came here, neither are you sure whom the guy and his friends were and why they showed up in costume to an orgy, and, well, some of the other things also remain unclear. With a sigh, you pat the sand off your clothes and make your way to the hotel. Oh my god. What just happened? What just happened? I was half asleep when I started this episode. Now I'm fully awake. What the fuck just happened? There is no words for the events that just occurred. A great veil covers the town. The light of the sun drains away, and with its radiant, and with it any residual heat. Although Innsmouth is a boring coastal town and probably doesn't have any street gangs, you feel relieved when you see the gables of the Gilman Hotel. It's been a while since you've been here. On your way here, you distinctly felt as if someone or something was following you. Oh no. You could swear there were shadows. They were only visible for a fraction of a second whenever you entered an alley. These fleeting shadows, they are still there, lurking somewhere in the dark. You can feel it in your guts. You'll soon be safe. The growing paranoia, the constant glances over your shoulder, soon you can forget all about that. Grab a bottle of Jack and is the only movement required once you're in your hotel room. The parking lot in front of your hotel is completely empty. Have all the guests left? Does Innsmouth even have a peak tourist season? Fortunately, the entry gate is not locked. In fact, everything seems just as it did this afternoon when you left the hotel. Not a soul around. The chandelier lights your way into the foyer, and the creaking floorboards welcome you. As you enter the foyer, you can hardly believe your eyes. Who is waiting for you at the reception? None other than the Consul Glemin III. And you could swear he is in exactly the same pose in which you left him. It's been a while. He stands motionless at the reception desk. Sure. You can't just completely ignore the only other person in the building. You stroll leisurely to the reception desk and nod at the unsales. Whatever. How nice to see you. I trust your stay in Innsmouth has been pleasant so far. He smiles. Pleasant? I hate this hellhole. Don't you ever have to go to the bathroom? I feel like that's less likely to get me stabbed in the neck. Do you ever have to go to the bathroom? You already wanted to ask him about this earlier today. Of course, Concierge replies in a conversational tone, but a good concierge distinguishes himself by always being on hand when his guests need him. Astonishing. Although you're not sure that anybody really needs a creepy grinning puppet, it's the thought that counts. Interesting. You walk up the stairs to your floor, then you stroll along the long corridor until you reach the fork with the deceptive mirror. Right, this freaking thing. You briefly consider your appearance. You look simply gorgeous. Simply gorgeous. Simply gorgeous. The sea air really agrees with you. Noble paleness on your cheeks, alert eyes, and your hairline high above your intellectual-looking forehead. A good day. You venture deeper into the bizarre labyrinth of this hotel floor. You manage to find your hotel room, and you only get lost once on the way. You quietly open a door and enter. Well. It is barely necessary to switch on the light. You walk towards one of the windows and look out onto the starry night sky. A huge, strangely green glowing moon illuminates your room like a spotlight. The whole room is plunged into a surely glow. Unfortunately, there are no window blinds to block out the lights. Just grates. Freshen up. Fresh armpits are what distinguish humans from animals. You enter the bathroom under the flickering ceiling light, whose lamp has probably never been replaced. You brush your teeth. Take a closer look in the mirror. Sure. You put the toothbrush aside, your hands close around the edge of the waistband, you slowly lean towards the mirror. The flickering glaring light of the ceiling lamp is not exactly flattering. You've always had those round pop eyes. Have you always had those round pop eyes? Has your nose always been that sunken in? And you should really do something about these bulging wrinkles on your jaw and neck. Maybe a facelift, like all those Hollywood stars who tragically find themselves on the wrong side of 25. Oh. You're looking at yourself, you give you creeps. Look closer. The fuck was that? You suddenly The hell was that? You suddenly develop a morbid fascination with your own obvious physical decay. The person staring at you from within the mirror doesn't seem to be you anymore, but rather it's a something of yourself. I don't know what that word is. You are reminded of one of the wolf characters from those old cartoons, the one that makes huge eyes when he sees a scantily clad lady, except this is real life. Kind of. Your fingers touch your uneven cheeks. You wander over to your hands. Your fingers feel all stiff, like you can't really move them anymore, like you've turned into shovels. Like they've turned into shovels. You could really use a few hours of sleep. Now that you're finally ready for bed, your body feels as heavy as lead. You stand in the middle of the room. The warm, stuffy air gives you a pleasantly tired feeling. You're safe in here. There might be insidious menace out there on the streets, but here you are safe from them. You drop on the bed like someone who has no intention of ever getting up again. Careful about your wording. What the hell? You transition fluidly into your dreams. You only just close your eyes and you're already somewhere else. Suddenly, Your worries are very different. You're running in a desolately gray maze of winding alleys. You can hear the cheerful laughter of a small child. If only you could catch up, you could save the child and take them home to safety. You sprint down the path and turn around the corner, then around another. The alleyway stretches out in front of you, but there's no person to be seen anywhere. What was that? Was that a shadow at the corner at the corner of the street back there? The silhouette of a figure. You realize that someone is following you. Look over your shoulder. Look over your shoulder. Oh. You cast a glance over your shoulder. Then you see them out of the corner of your eye. Shadows, but they have repugnant bodies. You can't really put it to any differently. You catch glimpses of oily skin, swollen boils, even tentacles, but nothing stays in one place. Everything seems to be constantly moving around, a body of metamorphosis. Patches of skin tear open and close again with awful smacking sounds. You briefly catch a glimpse of the thing that was following you silently. You know you've already seen more than you should have. That sort of glance was more than enough. No human can stand looking at this creature without completely losing their mind. It's right behind you. The figure in the distance has already disappeared behind the next corner. Maybe you can still catch up with it. The alleys wind through the town in confusing ways. Nothing makes sense anymore. Whenever you move, you ever arrive in the place you expected to. It feels as if you slowly but surely you're walking right into the jaws of a massive monster. All of a sudden, the walls close in on you and the path becomes so narrow you would have to walk sideways in order to fit through. Whatever is behind you is getting closer. There's not much time left. Squeeze through, keep going, there must be another way. Keep going. You squeeze yourself further along the narrow pathway. The walls are now so close that you start to tug scraps of your clothes. The backs of your hands start to burn because you keep scraping them on the surprisingly sharp edges of the rough bricks. Carefully but swiftly, you walk along the alleyway. It almost seems as if the walls were built so that your body and your body alone could pass through it. A stencil and you are the shape. Keep going. Already the path ahead it had been dark and poorly lit, and you couldn't see more than a few meters ahead, but now it seems as if the deepest, darkest night had fallen. Your fingertips continue to glide over the rough wall. Inch by inch, you work your way forward. Something is definitely not right here. The alley you wanted to cross is no longer an alley. The wall all but clings to your body. Every inch of wall now presses your body enclosed as if this alley has been waiting for you and you alone to enter it. Though you can no longer move freely, you appear to be moving forward. Are you still dreaming? You keep going. By now you have forgotten why you started walking in the first place. The stone walls appear to be crawling into your skin, yet you feel sheltered and safe. It has always been your destiny to be here in this place right now. Final destination. At last, you never wake up again. What? Nightmare, you die in your sleep. What? You know what? That's fitting. That is just bloody fitting. Okay. I'm gonna end this episode of the Innsmouth case off here. Next time, we are definitely going to be checking out that church. We've gotten a bunch of the endings. Yeah, we've gotten, okay, no, we've gotten some of the endings. Some of these are endings, some of them are, like, you know, sleep with a grotesque beast. No, these are all endings. These are all endings. So we got in, what, one? We've gotten like 4. There is so many more yet to get, but interesting. That was completely unexpected, and that's how I like it. That's how this game works. Completely unexpected. For right now, I'm gonna end this episode of the Innsmouth case off here. If you enjoyed, think about leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Run up, be good, be one. I'll see all of you in the next one. Goodbye.